What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. Like I said, trying to be more consistent. Recorded this the same day, so that's why you still see the merch. Yes, sir. And the red shirt. Right now we got the Triple G fight just happened against Canelo. And Triple G didn't look like himself, man. We all know Triple G has an amazing jab. Like, it is lightning quick. And I don't think he started even showing flashes of that until I want to say about the 7th round. And at that point, he had already lost. But if he had been doing that the entire fight, or maybe like the 5th round, like towards those middle rounds, he probably could have made it a lot closer. I'm not saying he would have won, but it would have been a way better fight, man. So we got Joe Rogan and Mike Tyson talking about it. Let's get right into it, man. Let's get right into it.
Another exciting fight is that people are sleeping on Triple G versus Canelo 3.
Oh, he's gonna get fucked up.
The first fight, did Triple G bring that fight to Canelo?
Triple G was the one putting the pressure the whole fight. And that's exactly what I'm saying. The people that actually put the pressure on and try to fight Canelo, you get a fight like Triple G and Canelo.
You remember that fight with Triple G, Mike?
Yeah.
I felt Triple G beat him that first fight.
He did good, but it's hard. This guy throws the count. He's slick boxing. He's like American knives, you know? Slick jab, move, body punches. I thought that he had the points.
Do you relate a
More
little bit to your
punches.
style to Canelo, Mike? You know, he goes
He's
to the bottom.
aggressive, he punch hard, but he's also smart.
Yeah.
He is.
You know, people think he's just not walking forward and scoring those knockouts. You know, if that was the case, his face would look like mush. You know, he's moving his head, he's jabbing.
He's slick.
Since he knocked people out so much, people forget that he's a good boxer.
Let me tell you something. Triple G is going south of the border and bringing back a pharmacy back, and he looks good. He looks good. I don't know if he is. I mean, the way they test in boxing, how do they test? They check your tacos. What's in there? Nothing. We're good. I mean, it's not nearly as invasive unless they sign up for it. Now, if they sign up for VADA testing or something like that,
that's boring.
If they do that, they'll be dealing with a different thing because Triple G is 40-something years old. He's either 40 or 41.
He looked good.
He looks awesome.
I love it.
To be more muscular than ever before at 40 years of age,
It just doesn't
things
make
to make you
sense.
go,
Just
where do I get on the sausage?
You know, look, man, there's guys in those camps that they make a lot of money making sure their fighters in tip-top condition. If you don't think that there's guys in those camps that specialize in performance-enhancing drugs, you're high. There always have been.
The greatest fighters always had those guys in the camp.
There's always been guys that gave them legal and illegal stuff.
In boxing and MMA.
Yes.
Your favorite guy had that guy.
Especially back in the days before USADA with the UFC, it was a real problem. Camps had scientists. There was camps that employed people that would check people's labs, and they knew what to do, and you know those people.
I've been in those camps, and they used to tell me it's not about who's the best fighter, it's about who has the best doctor. I went, well, I'm not making enough money to afford this. They went, I'm so sorry.
It's wild. There's Triple G in his last fight.
Completely gray.
Yeah, he looks fucking good. He looked pretty good. Maybe not saucy, but definitely as good as he's ever looked before.
Like, if you're paying attention,
I'm a giant Triple G fan, I should say. I'm a dick rider. Yeah. In his prime, I thought he won the first fight with Canelo. I thought he won that fight. I thought they robbed him.
Yeah, he got
and then
robbed.
The second fight was real close.
Have you met Canelo?
No, never met him. I'm a big fan, though. I love his style, man. I mean, if you go back and watch the Danny Jacobs fight, who the fuck has ever moved their head better than Canelo? You go up with like guys like Bivol that are natural 75-pounders, and this is my argument about more weight classes in MMA, because it's not that much of a difference, you know? The difference in Bivol versus Canelo. Canelo really shouldn't be fighting a guy that's that big. He's talking about fighting Usyk. Have you seen that shit?
Yeah.
And he's interested in that, and so am I.
Yeah.
So am I.
Yeah. And I see Eddie Hearn trying to put that together.
Please put that together. Please put that together.
Let me tell you
I'm
something.
interested. Imagine if he wins.
The fact that not only is Canelo interested in this fight verbally, but I actually believe him. Most fighters that would say something as crazy as that, like, all right, well, he's trying to get some headlines, trying to, like, you know, say something that's not going to happen. You know, I think Jake Paul probably knows he's not getting that Canelo fight anytime soon. But to say something crazy like that, to show that much confidence in yourself, is going to get people's attention.
He's an okay boxer, but he definitely needs some more years in order to fight Canelo. That's not a good step. from where he is right now. That would not be a good move.
This guy means it.
Money-wise, but that
And
wouldn't be
the
a good move
opponents
for him.
that he's chosen thus far, with the ability that he has to guide his own career, you can't take anything from him.
Not a thing.
I don't know that I could name another fighter, certainly not in the modern era, that has challenged himself more consistently than Canelo Alvarez.
Absolutely.
You can't say that the guy in front of him right now isn't a worthy opponent. And he goes one quality fight to another quality fight to another quality fight. You have to actually start talking about Canelo
I forgot he fought
already in the annals of history. Like, where does this guy place now?
Right.
Before he retires. Like, no matter what happens from that day on, this guy's got to be in the conversation.
And if he goes up and he beats Usyk, now you're in crazy town. It's kind of one of those things, man, when you're facing a guy like Canelo Alvarez that's so good right now, it's hard to get to those RPMs without having the kind of fights that Canelo's had, without having those 2 Triple G fights, without having that fight with Mayweather, without having the fight with Danny Jacobs, without having the James Kirkland fight. All those fights where he built up to where he is now, high profile. When you see like the Danny Jacobs fight, and you see his head movement, and you realize like how much he's taken from the one loss that he had to Floyd. That was a fight where he realized like, man, there's levels to this shit, and there's some guys you just can't hit. And how amazing was that transformation from him before that to afterwards, because now his head movement and his defense is sensational.
You can take a guy like Canelo, he can pick and choose who he want to fight, man. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Motherfucker easy, man. Cakewalk, easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy.
Triple G is still in the fucking running, which is interesting. He fought recently, but he looked fucking good, dude. He not only looked good, he looked ripped. So I was like, piss test, please. Because he's like 38.
He's bordering 40 real quick.
Looked as good as he's ever looked. But I think Canelo, as like we said, like these guys who are just consummate champions, you're just going to get a better version of them every single time they step into the ring. Every single time they get in the cage. What he did to Saunders, that was wild.
And Saunders is a good fighter.
He's a very good
tough
fighter.
kid.
Undefeated, super tough, super slick. And to see him crack him like that, just the consequences of missing and getting countered by Canelo was wild.
Fractured that
He
eye
fractured his
socket,
whole face.
You think from one shot?
One shot. Did you ever look at the diagram of all the repair they had to do to his face?
I did see it. Yeah, it's brutal.
It's
like,
crazy.
Broken everywhere.
Eye socket, all the orbital bone was shattered around the eye socket, the cheek, the jaw.
I think from just one punch, one devastating shot like that.
That motherfucker can punch.
And again, Billy Joe was boxing nice.
Yes.
He was close.
He looked very good.
Canelo sets traps from the first round. We did it to Amir Khan. I was at that fight, and Amir was looking great, but I was noticing that he kept whacking Amir to the body, and he was getting a red spot there. And eventually, you're going to want to defend that area because it's going to hurt. And the minute you drop that head, he set you up.
Yeah.
He set you up from the first round.
He's a monster. And if you watch his knockout of Caleb Plant, see, that was one he had to earn.
Yeah, he did. I met Caleb at the hotel in LA. He seemed disappointed because he goes, I was trying to do what you just done and win these belts. And I said, man, you gave so much heart and you gained so much respect because a lot of people weren't giving him that chance. And to do what he did, he didn't win the fight, but you got that respect. You won so many rounds.
He looked amazing.
He looked very good. He boxed nice, and he's only had 21 fights, 22 fights.
It was a learning experience for sure. A learning experience for sure.
You know, Canelo, I feel like even in the Caleb Plant fight, you know, he's just doing his thing. He's waiting for the moment. He's so composed.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of guys try to rush. They forget about that composure.
Right.
In the fight game, especially in boxing, you got 12 rounds. You know, you got a lot of time, 36 minutes in them ropes. A lot of time to dissect your opponent and break them down. That's what he does it so well.
He does it so well, and he has that patience and confidence of a multi-division world champion who's faced the best of the best. So that when he gets into those championship rounds, he gets into those later rounds, he knows that he's managed his energy so perfectly. The Kovalev fight's a good example of that, right? Because Kovalev looked pretty good early on in the fight.
Very nice.
But to see him knock out Kovalev, and I think this is just fucking... I know Kovalev is not the same Kovalev as fought Andre Ward the first time, but if you see...
Still, though, that was a brutal shot and clean, and Kovalev was all over the shop and
Wild.
put him down. And he's a big guy.
I know, he cracked him with one left hook and had him fucked.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy. I think he really truly has his mind set on being the greatest Mexican champion of all time, and maybe even the greatest boxer of all time. And I think he can do it. I think he's in that running. Jesus Christ. He's the greatest of all time if he beats Usyk.
And he's not a big guy.
No.
He's small.
How tall is he? He's probably 5'8".
Yeah, 5'8". And you know what? I'm trying to think how many divisions it is. I don't know if he's trying to get close to the great Manny Pacquiao. I don't think he can. I don't think he can.
He'd have to
unless
go
he
all the
has
way up to heavyweight.
heavy or super heavy, so.
The fact that he's going to make that leap, and the fact that he started off at 154 is crazy. And he fought Floyd at 52.
It's crazy.
Nuts. Nuts.
And it shows the kind of fighter he is, the risk.
All right, yeah, but it definitely shows the kind of fighter that he is, willing to get in the ring with anybody. Like, he's one of my Canelo is one of my favorite fighters. I think I've watched maybe almost all of his fights, I want to say, but definitely one that Triple G fight that happened last Saturday. From the opening bell, it was all Canelo. He was in high form. So definitely big ups to Canelo. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Y'all already know what the slogan is. Before y'all do, ring that bell, subscribe, and I'll holler at y'all in the next one.